Hello everyone, this is Priyanka here. And if I have to talk about my first beer experience, I would like to tell you that I truly hated it. I tried for a couple of times, considering that I might like it or it might, taste differently, or I don't know, some miracle to happen and me starting to, have beer or like beer. But it never happened, at least for say 3 to 6 months. And then one day, I don't know what happened. A friend of mine just casually said that, will you have a beer? I said, no, I don't like a beer. And he looked at me in some weird way as if I must have said that I don't have kidneys and I'm living without kidneys. And then he insisted on me having a beer. And I think he had added a pinch of salt in it and a slice of lemon. I found it very weird that someone is actually adding pinch of salt and lemon slice I always knew. And he told me to have it. And trust me, I fell in love with the beer. I think the pinch of salt was just kind of a trick to make me have it or make me feel that it's going to be different than what I had before. But I don't know, it worked for me. And since that day till today, I am sold. I can have beer anytime, any day, anywhere. The only condition is that it has to be chilled. Super, super chilled.
Hey guys, this is Vincent from Mumbai and I'm absolutely delighted to be here on Cheers Chatty. Beers are actually a blessing to mankind. So far I have gulped down 177 different brands of beers, and trust me, I keep an Excel sheet of all the brands that I have had so far. And it helps me in a way, in two ways rather. When I travel to some place, I just open the Excel sheet and see which brands I have not tried and I order them. Secondly, when my friends travel abroad to certain countries, I just send the Excel sheet to them and say, which is not mentioned in this, please get me those beers. So like that, I can keep trying more and more beers. So, it's an absolute delight to try different brands of beers. Now, beers have taken me to some very interesting places. In fact, I have been to a place called Freising, where we have one of the oldest brewery in the world. So that was an awesome experience. And beers have given me some amazing friends, friends that could, for a lifetime, I would say, and some beautiful memories. Now, talking of memories, there are few ones which I would like to relive again and again. And one of them would be, since we are asking about which is my first beer memory, and that first beer memory might not be that great for a lot of people, but for me it is a very emotional one, and hence it is number one so far in my list. So when it comes to drinking, I must admit that I am the black sheep of the family, because everyone drinks more whiskey as compared to beer. And that is not a surprise, because we are a Mallu family and whiskey just flows in our blood. I feel like we all drink a lot of whiskey. But and to the fact that when I was 5 years old, I had my first whiskey, and beer was I think when I was 9 years old. And and it's a very interesting story how I drank my first beer. Like my mom used to throw these lavish Christmas parties, where all the relatives living in Bombay would be invited to our place, because my dad was the eldest of all of them staying in Bombay, so everyone had to come to our place. And my mom and aunties would cook some awesome food, and everyone gathers together. General ritual would have been everyone comes together, enjoy a great meal, have good drinks, and then sleep in the afternoon, and then again get up and again drink and again eat and sleep. So that's and have some fun and some parties, some stories going on in between. But that morning was very interesting. Early morning we woke up. I remember most of the relatives were asleep because they had gone for a midnight mass. My mom was awake. She was making breakfast or tea or breakfast something, and she was making beef fry, I know for sure, because that's the thing that we all love, beef fry. So she was making beef fry, and my dad was awake and I was awake. At 8 in the morning we were sitting, and my dad said, yeah, I think I don't know why all of a sudden it just happened to be. My dad said, you're 9 years old and 1 month, so on 25th Jan is my birthday, so it's exactly 1 month from Christmas. So my dad was like, in 1 month's time you will be in double digits. I was 9 and double digits by I would have been 10 years old. So he said, before that you should try beer. No, rather, no, he said before that you should try, before that you should drink with me rather. I think that's what he meant. So I said, yeah, fine, we can drink together. That's not a problem. And he said, how about trying whiskey? And my mom, I heard mom from the kitchen like, early morning, who drinks whiskey? And so he said, okay, she's right. Let's not drink whiskey. Let's have beer. And she was fairly okay with it. Okay, so she was the one who got the beer bottle from the kitchen in the freezer, and my dad opened the beer and he shared with me, and poured two glasses, and my mom comes with the third glass from the kitchen. I say, hey, when I want, early morning. So he poured whatever is remaining into her glass, and we three did cheers, and that's when I had my first sip of beer. And after having the first sip, he asked me, I remember he categorically asking me, how do you feel? Is it better than whiskey? And I said, it is bitter. And I don't think I said anything much. Then my mom quickly got the beef fry, and I was having beef fry and beer. And I think I fell in love with beer at that time itself. Not more because of the taste, but because of the, my mom, dad, and me having together. I think that was the emotional moment for me. And I still remember the first beer was LP we were drinking. And you don't get much LP in Bombay these days, but you do get in certain places, like you go to Military Cafe in South Bombay. If people know the place, in Military Cafe they still serve LP, which I like, but a lot of people don't like LP, which is okay. I like, just because I know it's not a great beer, but I like it because of emotional reason. Even when I order beer, assorted beers for friends at home, I ensure that there are two bottles of LP just for me, because nobody else drinks LP. So I love LP from that, for an emotional reason, nothing more than that. So yeah, this was my first experience of having beer, but that experience still remains fresh in my mind. So whenever I drink LP, it takes me back to those days, and I think I have figured out a safe cocoon for myself, if I may call, where whenever I drink, the memories are just the three of us having beer and beef fry. And yeah, something I would like to relive again and again. Yeah, that's all. That's my first beer drinking experience. Thank you guys for listening.
Hello to one and all. This is AJ, a freelancer who's currently living in France. First of all, congrats to my dear Chatty for her awesome podcast. I must start by saying that Chatty and I have shared a close relationship for over a decade and a half. Doesn't make us any younger now, does it? Anyway, when I say close, I refer to the closeness of a valued friendship, as well as the geographical closeness of a neighbor. I lived on a floor above hers when I was still in Mumbai, and have precious memories of so many meals and drinks shared. More often than not, well, you guessed it, beer. In fact, our annual ritual when I visit India involves connecting over drinks. I must say that because I drink alcohol only on rare occasions, I tend to associate beverages with the company in question. And with Chatty, it's almost always beer. No surprises there. As for my very first beer, it was with my dad. Honestly, I don't remember my instinctive reaction to the taste now, but I was indeed very pleased with the high of getting to do something adult. That's all from me. I wish you all a very, very wonderful day. Cheerios!
Hello guys, so first thing comes in my mind when I hear beer is peer. Yes, because of peer pressure I drank my first beer. Starting में तो मुझे बहुत कड़ू लगा, but then my friend told me it takes a good intelligence to taste a beer. मैंने उसकी बातों पे थोड़ा ध्यान दिया, थोड़ा observe किया, and surprisingly I started liking the beer. Forget liking, I started loving the beer, and तब से लेके अब तक, like every weekend I drink beer. Yes, beer is so good, yeah. Beer is life. Forget love. I rather fall for beer. Yes. So drink good beer and be happy.
Hi, my name is Pradnya. I have lived most of my life in Bandra, and the first time I drank beer is when I was 16 years old. And beer, oh beer, I've never looked back. I don't like any other alcohol as much as I like beer. I love drinking in the afternoon. That's the best time to have beer. It is so damn refreshing. I think except for Foster's, I like any other beer, brewed, crafted, you name it, and I can try any of that. The first time I had beer, I think, was introduced by my brother-in-law, and to make it a little lighter, he made a shandy for us. And yes, of course, we were really, really high and flying. But over the years, yes, I have. My capacity has increased a lot, and I can take in much more. But yes, I love beer. I so love beer.